to this series and their first start. You look back, 1949, of course, Jim Roper, Charlotte Speedway. It's back when NASCAR started, 49, 50, 50. So many early drivers in their first start, but that was back when NASCAR was young. Now, 75 years in, and Van Gisbergen could be added to that list as winning his first start in the Cup Series.
Gisbergen in the 91 driving away. Haley keeping a comfortable distance between him and Chase Elliott off into turn 4. Larson a little ways back from Chase Elliott. He has company from Kyle Busch, Austin Cindric, McDowell, Logano, Gibbs, Almirola, your top 10.
Kyle Busch really hanging it out there coming out of turn number 5 as they race their way into turn number 6. That's the gap for the lead as they race their way into the corner. Everybody just trying to get to the finish unscathed as they leave 6 and go downhill to turn 7.
It's 1:14 p.m. on Monday in New Zealand. Not far from being at a party. They're going to have a great time, a lot of national pride, watching this race car driver take the fight to NASCAR's best. He's been impressive all weekend, practice, qualifying, and now the race. He is cruising away from him.
Yeah, and a very humble race car driver. We talked to him before the race. He was so humble, saying, you know, I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Yeah, potential first win for the driver, but it would be the 24th win for the crew chief. Darian Grubb on the pit box. He has won with the likes of Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, Casey Mears. An amazing list of drivers for that crew chief, now trying to take a first-timer to victory lane.
You think about the drivers that have came from that Supercar V8 discipline. Marcus Ambrose has to be watching, smiling, thinking about his time in the NASCAR Cup level and the success he had.
Turn number 1, Bubba Wallace into Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and into the tire pack. Stenhouse goes. Bubba came in way too hot.
Gonna get caution on the last 2.
Stenhouse has buried that Chevy into the tire pack. That's off the end of the front straightaway.
There'll be a caution for the last 2.
Though he's stuck. Sure enough, the caution comes out. The driver did not get the white flag that's out front. That is the only way that the race could be over if a caution comes out with under 1 to go. But that means we'll go into overtime. So a little more racing for the fans here in Chicago and those of you watching. Look at this as Bubba in the 23 slid into the 47. The 47 gets locked underneath the tire barriers in turn 1.
Yeah, Bubba just completely out of line, driver's left. I don't know if the track was still damp or if he was just out of control, but you see him coming in with a head of speed, already spinning out. Ricky Stenhouse probably has no idea what happened. KO'd from the side, and he ends up, here you go, take a look right here from on board with Kevin Harvick. Big impact for the 47 and the 23.
The NASCAR Cup Series in their first ever street course race, and we want to hear from the guys who have been calling it from the different turns around this track. Are any of the 3 of you amazed at what we're seeing out of the New Zealander? I'll start with you, Mike.
It is amazing what this driver has done. He's getting ready to make history, as we've documented here a few moments ago. But it's been a long time since a road course ringer has gone to victory lane, and especially in his first ever start in this series. It's been amazing to watch him do it so smooth, but yet all aggressive at the same time. Dale Jr., what about you?
Yeah, the Giz, as he's known to all those fans in V8 Supercar, has done an amazing job, and I'm not surprised because, as I was saying before the caution, Marcus Ambrose came here, adapted really quickly. I think the V8 Supercars are very, very comparable to what we race here, even now with this next-gen car more closely resembling each other. So no surprise to me. V8 Supercar is NASCAR to what NASCAR is in the U.S. to Australian and New Zealand fans. So it's awesome to see, though, and hopefully we have a spectacular finish, and that will be a popular win if he makes it happen.
Yeah, I think one of the things that will be difficult for him is this late race restart. However, what he does have going for him is that Australian Supercar is an aggressive series. They get after it. They race hard, and they are not open-wheel cars. They're closed cars like these are with fenders. So they know how to race. They know how to be rough when they need to be. So I don't think this moment is too big for him. However, there's some people behind him that are very, very hungry that a win could be career-changing. What are people willing to do this late in the race?
Yeah, that's correct. And they look similar to what we're seeing here. Obviously, the wing on the back. They're These are supercars, and this is what Shane van Gisbergen has been able to be so successful in.
Yeah, a few different aerodynamic changes. You mentioned the wing, but also they have the windows. He said earlier in pre-race that it's a little odd driving with an open side windows. I've never thought of that before. I've never seen very many cars, Dave, with both windows closed on each side, but a very impressive run thus far.
Well, remember, this is a left drive car. That is a right drive car, so this is brand new to him too. And Jeff Burton nailed it. Think of the drivers behind him who want to win. They talked to Shane about it on the radio.
The two cars behind you are desperate for a win, for point situation for the playoffs. So just be prepared for
Look
that.
at that rear view camera. That is insane.
Correct.
And then they talked to him about an issue he thought he had when the caution came out. He thought he had a motor problem. He reported data back to the team as he could. A lot of things went through Shane's mind then, and the crew chief told him, Darian Grubb said, don't get paranoid. Your car is fine. Steve, these drivers have heard things clicking in their cars or clanking in their cars when they're on the way to victory. Shane's trying to get that out of his head and hold off the guys behind him.
Well, the man has won 80 supercar races, 3 championships, so he is a closer without a doubt. Left drive and right drive, real simple. Where do you sit? Anybody that's ever been to England, they sit on the wrong side of the car. That's what we say. Well, so think about that. He's shifting with his right hand in that supercar, shifting with his left. So, I mean, it's not a small change for him, but he has really adapted and adapted quickly. Now he has to adapt to NASCAR overtime. One good thing in his corner, the single file restarts that we've seen all day will make it a whole lot easier than if it was double file. But there's still 12 very tricky corners in front of him and a bunch of hungry drivers behind him.
Yeah, you mentioned the restart rules and the overtime. And Steve, the other question is Haley and Elliott, do they have enough fuel?
Well, that's going to be very close, right? Because these laps, once we go into overtime, they don't really count towards the distance of the race. So Haley and Elliott, 45 laps on the tank. Now, a bunch of that is yellow. But still, do you get a little stumble? Does it not pick up? That could be an advantage for the 91. It could be a detriment to someone like Larson, right? Does he hit him in the back or does he get by? We've seen some good lap times out of Larson. You wonder if he could clear them quickly. Could he challenge?
All right, DJ, Brad, do you guys think the 91 rises to the occasion?
This is phenomenal. I mean, you guys have documented what you've seen. We haven't seen this before. Somebody come in and be as aggressive and as dominant as what he has been coming up through the pack. That was so impressive getting to the front.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I had the good fortune of having a V8 supercar driver in my car, in Marcus Ambrose, and won some Xfinity races for my race team. So I know how talented these young men are. So we're going to watch a great one here, Rick.
And when the restart happens, overtime rules are they will go 2 laps. If they get back to the white flag without a caution, then the next flag that flies would end the race. And they will go to video to determine who is in front if that comes into question. And you see the city street lights. They are on. And the field making their way down Michigan. And now to Jackson Drive into the restart zone.
Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on. Let's go, buddy. Bring it on.
It's overtime, presented by Credit One Bank.
Let's go, Shane.
Turn 1 they go.
Here they come with less than 2 laps to go. SVG away with the lead.
Let's go. Hold that lead. Hold that gap.
You got Haley. You got Elliott.
So
and
well at
Kyle
getting out
Larson's in
in the
the
way.
mix. They're all stacked up right behind him. But in command and pulling away is Shane van Gisbergen to turn 3.
And the battle now is for 3rd, 4th, 5th. You see those cars close together. Down into turn 4. No lockups. Everybody getting through here really cleanly in this. Coming to the white flag, the 91 easily out front of the field.
This has been one of the smoothest parts of the racetrack.
so
When
good
he
at getting
leaves turn
back.
5 and comes down
Doesn't even
Columbus
be
Drive and sets up for the left-hander into turn 6. He drives it in deep, but he's very smooth. He'll clip that inside, swing it wide, and head downhill to Michigan Avenue.
Steve mentioned it, the advantage of having a single file restart and allowed a very calm restart. SVG got a great restart, drove away from Haley, and now he just has to focus out front. He's driven far enough away where Haley cannot outbrake him. It is now mistake-free time. Do not get yourself in trouble. Do not overdrive. Just keep pace with the car behind you.
And he hasn't pulled away from Haley yet.
5 back, all clear.
5 back, you just heard that from the spot. Van Gisbergen out of turn 12, coming up to see the white flag. One more time around this street course race in Chicago.
Bring it on.
Here they come into
Bring
turn
it on.
number 1. Does Justin Haley or Chase Elliott, number 1, have enough fuel in the tank, and do they have enough to get to the back bumper of that 91 car? Here he is, right-hander, turn 2 for the final time.
You see the gap right there, pulling away down the back straightaway, cleanly through turn 3. Full throttle into the braking zone, over the hump, unlocked up by the 31 back there. Gisbergen through 4, through 5, smoothly onto the throttle, good corner exit, headed back to you.
He will swing wide out of 5. He'll set up and go right to the middle of the racetrack and go driver's right now. Hard braking, downshifting. He's going to try to hit way deep, and he'll pull away from Haley even more. He'll leave turn 6, downhill to Michigan Avenue for the final time this evening in Chicago.
Trackhouse racing drivers have been part of huge and great memories from Chastain to Martinsville to this. It's not over yet, but it's really close.
The 75th anniversary of NASCAR, and it has been 60 years since a driver has won in their series debut. Well, through turn 11, Shane Gisbergen has been perfect. He has navigated the streets of Chicago to perfection. The final time, onto the front stretch. He comes to the checker flag. He's won the very first street race in NASCAR.
Well fucking done. Oh, that's awesome. Fuck. Dude. Gizzy. Serious? Unreal. That's awesome, man.
Wins for Trackhouse Racing. A victory lap now for the 91. And the fans showing their appreciation all the way around this course.
Well done, Shane.
A three-time champion of the Supercars. The checkered flag moment brought to you by Advance Auto Parts.
That is awesome, man.
The 34-year-old from New Zealand. We mentioned earlier, if he could add his name to the list, well, he has
He's 2
done
years
it.
older than me.
60 years since Johnny Rutherford did it at Daytona back in 1963. He wins in his first career Cup Series start.
Oh. I'm so fucking proud, man.
Only 7 drivers in the history, in the 75-year history of the sport, have been able to do it. We saw it here, and it just shows the talent of his discipline, that he is able to wheel a car around a street course.
And he just did it with absolute precision and raw speed. As you see Daniel Suarez coming up to congratulate his fellow Trackhouse driver.
How will he celebrate? That's the question. You know, we see burnouts, we see, you know, so many different things. Last week it was throwing a watermelon.
I'm confident to say we're not going to see a watermelon. That I'm willing to rule out. So impressive, and it just shows you where NASCAR is in global motorsports, right? What a great... Here's your answer, Rick.
Spin it. Ooh. Give it some. There's a cameraman down there, you better get off. There he is. Dude, be careful.
Columbus Drive has never seen such an impressive show of power.
You fucking man. Let's go. Fuck yes. Oh, that's fucking awesome, man.
Welcome to America, Shane Van Gisbergen. What a run for this young man. I was talking with his good buddy, fellow Kiwi, and IndyCar driver Scott McLaughlin. He said he's one of the smartest race car drivers I've ever had to compete against. And I think he's ready for a little celebration. Let's be honest, Shane. When this deal came together, did you honestly feel like this was possible?
No, of course not, but you always dream of it, and thank you so much to the Trackhouse team and Hans Elf, Project 91. Man, what an experience in the crowd out here. Like, this was so cool, and it's what you dream of, so hopefully I can come and do more.
What were you telling yourself on those final few restarts?
Well, when we had that bad strategy back to 18th, I started to worry a bit, but had some full sends on some people, and the racing was really good. Everyone was respectful, and it was tough, but a lot of fun.
It's Monday back in Auckland, but I'm sure there's a party going on at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What would your message be to all those young drivers back there in Australia and New Zealand?
Anything is possible, but you know, the fans in Australia and New Zealand, the response this week and the coverage has been I can't explain it. Like, the response and the support I've got from everyone, and even over here, how welcoming everyone is. I can't believe it. Dream come true.
So you know everybody's going to want you to drive their car now. Are you up for a full-time Cup ride if you want?
I'm doing one more year in Oz, and then I'd love to come over here.
There you go, 1 more year in Australia, and then you might come Cup racing with us, Rick. Look at this crowd here on the front stretch in Chicago, and the fans in the stands as well. SVG gets the win. The Kiwi is a Cup winner.
And a popular one at that, as Shane Van Gisbergen will be heading to Rouen.